Idaho went into 2021 already abnormally dry. Well, 63% of the state was in that state on January 1st, according to the U.S. Drought Monitor. And sadly, spring didn't help. That abnormally dry trend continued, so that by summer, 92% of Idaho was in a drought. But less than 1% of the state was seeing extreme conditions, so that's good news, right? Still not a good way to start the dry season. Well, now here we are 3 months later, the drought only getting worse. 88% of the state still in a severe drought. 65% is extreme, which is up from 57% last week. In those Burgundy areas there, that's 21% of the state in an exceptional drought. Where things have changed have been kind of in the middle there. But what does that mean for us? Well, more of what we've already seen so far this summer, unfortunately. Farmers unable to plant crops or feed their cattle, which leads to cutting herds and, of course, an increase in fire danger. Even in severe drought conditions, which is supposed to be an improvement from extreme, we see low river levels, which leads to a drop in hydropower. And with less water running through the dams to create electricity, that means there's more water stuck behind those dams, just sitting there and warming in the record-breaking summer sun. And that is why Idaho Power, the company in charge of the dams on the Snake River, known as the Hells Canyon Complex, they're now having to pay to mitigate some of those impacts. Two conservation groups and the state of Oregon settled a lawsuit that spawned from the pollution and warmth of that water. It's an agreement that forces Oregon now to help improve water quality and the problems that come with warmer water temperatures. The Hells Canyon Complex includes the Hells Canyon, the Brownlee, and the Oxbow dams, all of which are owned and operated by Idaho Power. What normally happens with that Snake River water, the runoff from farms upstream kind of enters the river, and it's usually warm and nutrient rich. It would usually just run downstream and kind of dissipate as it goes, but with the low water year, it's been sitting in place for far too long. And in that reservoir, the nutrients break down and create a toxic pool of quicksilver or mercury that then gets ingested by fish and then becomes a health threat to anyone who eats those fish. The settlement requires Oregon and Idaho Power to each invest $750,000 to limit the amount of mercury. The work is also going to have to be completed by 2023. Now, it didn't specify what type of work or how to fix the problem. They're going to have to come up with that plan together. While warmer waters sound nice to people, it's not good for fish, especially those in the salmon family. High water temperatures, like the ones we saw this year, can be lethal. The settlement also creates a temperature limit and how it should be monitored. This is all to help those fish and the watershed. But if temperatures stay high and the water supply stays low, well, it could be a really tough problem to solve.